Hey there. Hope you're enjoying these warm days that we're finally getting. Being outside without extra coat and mitts and hat and boots. It's finally spring. But according to the church, it's still Easter. Easter was weeks ago. I don't even remember what Easter was like. I don't remember anything about the day that we called Easter. But the church says it's Easter for a whole bunch of weeks. And the reason for that is that it takes us a few weeks, takes us a lifetime really, to figure out what Easter means. There's that one sudden morning when we say, hey, the tomb is empty, Jesus is alive. What does that mean? Because of that question, and some of the disciples asked that question, I don't understand this. I'm not even going to believe it until I understand it better. We get to think about what it means to have new life for weeks. And where we are, Easter comes at the beginning of spring. And so we often compare Easter to the coming of spring, because after a winter of snow covering everything and silence in the world and dead looking branches, when the snow melts and it starts to warm up, life comes back. Branches are going to be alive. Sap runs up in trees. We get maple syrup. And for us, living in this part of the world, spring helps us to understand what Easter is like. But this year, spring has been slow. We had snow just a week ago. Not enough snow to make a snowman or snowballs. So what good was it? But it was snow. It was nothing like spring. And my yard has been so slow to look like spring. Very few insects. You had to dig to find a worm. The birds arrived, they found something, but the trees in my yard were still brown. It wasn't until early this week, walking along the road, I found snails. I found lots of snails crawling along the edge of the road. And I found anthills, little mounds of fresh dirt that show that the ants were busy and throwing out the dirt, cleaning up their tunnels so that they could get into their spring's life. And the trees outside my kitchen window, the willow tree there, it was brown last time I talked to you. It's green now. And the aspen trees out at the shore are a beautiful, bright green. And even the maples and the ash are finally not straight, tiny little sticks, but swelling and growing. And they will be full of leaves long before I talk to you again. So this year, in some ways, this week feels more like Easter than Easter Sunday did, because now we're actually seeing that new life in the world right around us. There were signs of it. There were a few worms, but this week there are bumblebees. And so I got to thinking that it's good that the church says that it's still Easter, because at the beginning of Easter this year, I didn't feel much like Easter. I didn't feel much like that new life. And now I'm starting to feel it. And so I'm reminded this year especially that you gotta be patient, that things come in time, even if you don't see it, even if the signs are tiny. God is at work, and God is always bringing what is new and new life. So I hope that today you'll get outside. This week you'll look around. Look for those signs of new life that are coming where you are. Look for the things that you haven't seen since last October. Gosh, that's a long time ago. Notice that God is bringing new life where you are and where I am. And enjoy. I'll see you soon.